Hello viewers from wherever you're watching us from around the world. Welcome to your weekly State of Affairs program here on QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. And we are broadcasting from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue, right behind the QCell main building. My name is Aliou Sise and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Modou Mbodj. Mr. Mbodj, good to have you in the program.
I'm glad to be here, Aliou.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mbodj. Well, State of Affairs is aired every Tuesday at 9 p.m. and repeated on Sunday at 10 a.m. If you miss any of our shows, you can visit YouTube, where you can watch this program, of course, by typing QTV Gambia. Well, if you've been following developments in Senegal as we speak, tensions are rising in Senegal, where security forces continue to clash with opposition supporters after the conviction and sentencing of Ousmane Sonko, the leader of the Pastef party, to 2 years in prison for what a court in Dakar said is corrupting youth, but acquitted him on charges of raping Adji, a woman who worked at a massage parlor, and making death threats against her. Well, according to analysts, corrupting young people, which includes using one's position of power to have sex with people below the ages of 21, is a criminal offense in Senegal, punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $6,000. It is reported that several people have died as a result of the clash, including members of the security. Sonko, a strong critic of President Macky Sall, came third in the 2019 presidential election in Senegal and is popular among young people. His supporters maintain his legal battle is part of a political witch hunt by the president of Macky Sall, of course, which the government has denied as far as these allegations are concerned ahead of the country's next year's election, that's February 2024. The government has denied this claim by supporters of Ousmane Sonko. And as we speak, the government has shut down, social media, of course, including popular apps such as WhatsApp, Facebook, among others. We have also seen the African Union, ECOWAS, and of course the Gambia government, and even the US has issued a statement calling for calm in Dakar. Well, joining us this week, to discuss the issues happening in Senegal, I have in the studio Mr. Demba Ali Jawo, Gambia's former Minister of Information, and who had actually spent some time living in Senegal on exile. Mr. Jawo, good to have you in the program.
Thank you very much, Aliou.
And also in the studio is the High Commissioner of Senegal to the Gambia, His Excellency Bassirou Sène. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll just start with you, High Commissioner. Like I said, quite unfortunate developments in Senegal. A country very close to the Gambia, neighboring. So far so good. What is the latest as far as you are aware?
Thank you very much for inviting me to this amicable discussion about Senegal. The latest information I have, I sent you already.
Yeah.
There is 16 deaths. It was 15, and yesterday there was one again. So it is 16. 500 people are arrested. Around 350 something are injured and are in hospitals. What we can say is among these 500 people arrested, there are some minor children, those who are not supposed to be politicians. There are also foreigners who are not speaking Wolof. They are speaking other languages, and it is found between them heavy guns and weapons, showing that they were not here for political matters but other objectives. Yes.
Let me now bring in Uncle D here. I know you have been following developments in Senegal. How do you react to the current developments there?
Well, certainly the development in Senegal is quite worrying. Particularly to the Gambia, because the Gambia and Senegal, we are so interlinked, so intertwined in everything that we do. Any problem in Senegal definitely should be worrisome to the Gambia. So I am really worried, and I feel that the situation should never have reached this point. Honestly, I think the Senegalese authorities have not done as much as they could have to actually stop this situation from reaching this point that we are today. I feel they could have done much better, definitely.
And regarding the issue of the authorities not doing much, I mean, as you speak, what is the authorities doing to ensure this issue is being addressed quickly?
You see, it is not easy to to say that the authorities didn't do what they had to do. No. This matter is judicial matter. It is not matter of the government. It is a case. So, when the judicial process is going on, no one can stop it. If you take care of the respect due to the separation between executive institution and judicial institution. So how can the executive, the government act to stop the process, since the judicial decide to send him to the criminal court? I don't see any way.
And I mean, when you talk to some of our Sonko supporters, I mean, they believe, I mean, this is politically motivated by Macky Sall to delay him from taking part in next year's election. Do you agree?
You see, I am not here to recommence the debate. You see, in my country, in my area, they say, if you reopen a crisis, you recall a crisis and you go in the detail, it seems that you open it again today. And I am not here for that. Everything is already done. If there is something wrong, it is already done. Now, I'm here to see how we can handle the future. It is my purpose.
Just before Mr. Mbodj comes in, Mr. Uncle D, earlier on you mentioned, I mean, the effects, I mean, that the crisis in Senegal could have on the Gambia. In this case, I mean, we have seen the government issued a statement calling for calm, but I mean, do you think there is more that the government or the Gambia can do as a neighbor to Senegal to be able to, you know, bring about a lasting peace as far as this
yes,
protest is
I think definitely the Gambia government could do much more than just issuing a statement. I mean, I think President Barrow, he's very, very close to President Macky Sall, and they could discuss the issue on a personal level, because it's important. I mean, I agree with Ambassador saying that there is not much that the government can do when it comes to the issue of maybe the judiciary, but let's accept the fact that Macky Sall's presumed intention to run for a third term is definitely very much linked to this situation. If Macky Sall were to announce today that he's no longer going to run for a third, no longer going to seek for a third term, I am almost certain that the tension is going to simmer down very, very drastically, and that could help in resolving the matter. That's what I feel anyway.
We'll come back to that. High Commissioner, earlier on you talked about foreigners being involved and there were guns. What exactly are you suggesting? Because with us here, we have supporters of a particular political party feeling aggrieved about, you know, what their candidates is receiving from government, going out to protest. Now you're talking about foreigners being involved, there being guns. What exactly is going on here?
The matter is, Senegal is an oasis of peace and development in a magma of fire. It is a reality. And we know all these jihadists laying in these countries, they have their, what we call in French, cellule dormant.
Sleeping cells.
Yes.
Yes, all right, yes.
And we know it since a long time, and the president himself announced the 4th April, last 4th April, he said around Kidira, they know there is one cellule preparing something there. So all this matter, when what they wait for is an occasion to blow. And it is the case. And I send you the image. People with guns, you know, these people are not here for political matter. They are here for another thing. They want to destroy our economy, to destroy our stability. We are going to a phase of where we will have petrol and gas, and we will be really, really attractive, and they don't want that.
So you mean
it is our feeling.
You're saying that there are external agents involved?
Absolutely.
Do we have, what is your evidence for thinking that there are
my
external...
evidence, I sent it already to your brother, Mr. Sise. If you can show it in your, we can witness it. I show all the proof.
What makes it evidence? Who did the study? Is it just your impression? I mean, we need to understand the source of this so-called evidence.
Yeah, what kind of evidence you want again? They are catched. They are now under custody. They are under interrogation. They are responding. They are not speaking Wolof. They have heavy guns. What do you want as proof?
So that is really what the problem is, the external agents, not what's going on in Senegal.
There is a political matter. It is this matter of this party who don't accept the decision of the justice. But now around and arrive all these people around, coming from abroad. And what is also very amazing is these small people, 5 years, 10 years. What are they doing in a political? What are they doing?
Okay, I'm sure we'll come back to that. Just one more thing, Mr. Jao. You said that they shouldn't have reached this point. What should have been done differently?
Well, as I said, the issue of the third term for President Macky Sall is definitely got much to do with this issue. So if President Macky Sall had earlier on, come out plain to tell the people that he's not going to seek for a third term, probably the tension would not have reached this level. That's what I think. I mean, of course, there are other issues involved, but honestly, this has a lot of political connotation as well. And the third term issue is a very important factor in it.
But you consider he doesn't have to.
I mean, of course he needs to. I mean, that could definitely simmer down the tension. That's as far as I'm concerned. Because most people are concerned that if he goes for a third term, that is going to bring more trouble for Senegal. But if he announces today that he is definitely not seeking for a third term, I think, some of the tension that we are seeing here, I have no doubt that will simmer down a little bit.
High Commissioner?
No. How can I agree? How can you ask the head of state to say, I am not candidate or I am not candidate? What he is doing around Benno Bokk Yakaar, he has a coalition of maybe 40 parties and so on. He is discussing with them to choose the one maybe who will act for Benno Bokk Yakaar or himself. We don't know. How can you, because you are opposition, say the president should declare himself? No, he has the right to stay and wait the appropriate moment for him to declare his candidature or no. And for this matter, there is two understanding. One understanding, the Article 27 of the Constitution say the mandate is 5 years. No one can execute more than 2 executive mandates.
That's their mandate.
It is the Article 27. For one side, they take only the Article Alinéa 2. No one can have more than
2 terms.
Two terms. It is the reference, the Alinéa 2. For the others, they say no. Take into account the whole article. The article say the mandate is 5 years. No one can exercise more than 2. It is the difference. Where is the difference? The 2 mandates for them is supposed to be 5 years. So if it is this case, President Macky Sall has 1 mandate of 5 years and may pretend to have a second mandate of 5 years. It is one understanding. The understanding, they take only the Alinéa 2, who said no one can have more than two terms. It is a difference. Now, we are not, we are, if we are respecting the rule of law, if we respect the rule of law, only the Conseil constitutionnel can decide who is candidate or no. And the Conseil constitutionnel didn't decide for now. It is the case. Now the other ones, they want to force him to say, I am candidate or no. And it is what he say. Even if you follow the last opening of the dialogue, he say, no, you can't do it by force. Let us do it properly, amicably, and we will have what we want. I think it is the meaning of Senegal. Senegal, we used to dialogue, to discuss everything, and we every time find a solution. But if you want to ask me to do things by force, it creates a problem.
Mr.
Yes. What I'm saying is, I think President Macky Sall himself was quoted saying that no president again would be allowed to have 2 consecutive terms. I mean, in this country, more than 2 consecutive terms in this country. He said so, and he's already got first term. So he's on his second term, as far as that issue is concerned. Consecutively, he's on his second term. So even if we take his word for it, then I mean, honestly, he's not qualified to go for a 3rd term, is he?
High Commissioner, yes, earlier on, I mean, you express, I mean, your frustration about external forces trying to use this occasion, I mean, like you said, to bring down Senegal. I mean, whose interest are they serving?
It is a big question. Maybe you may give me a response. Whose interest they are serving? Why they are doing that? Why these jihadists killing people in the which interest they are? Is it Islam? Is it criminal organization? No one know. No one know. I know what their real aim is, to reach Atlantic Sea. They want to all these countries and reach Atlantic Sea. It is their objective. And what they see in Senegal, our Islam with confrérie, with Marabout, they don't want that. All knows. Maybe they wanted to take this occasion to do harm, to show that they exist, and from now we take account of them. We consider they are around, and we must respect them.
So, High Commissioner, are you saying that Ousmane Sonko, for instance, is a stooge of Islamic insurgents?
No, I didn't.
It sounds very similar.
I say when they start, we see occult forces inside, and it was also in February, March 2021. We saw such kind also of forces, and these same forces come again with more strength, more capacity.
But
I don't see now. I don't say Mr. Tell is no. It is not.
But High Commissioner, this is quite interesting here, because I'm not sure how invoking this notion of occult forces helps in political discussion. I just don't understand the concept of occult forces in discussing politics.
It is not an invention. It is a reality, and I give you the proof. Ask my brother.
Well, you're giving him something. Yeah. Whether it's a proof, that depends on other people's
because they are under custody. They were arrested. They are interrogation, and they respond. And from their response, we know that it is occult forces. It is not invention. It is a reality. Yes.
Well, here, Mr. Jao, the idea of the term limit, I think that's one factor bearing on the situation. But there are other factors, aren't there? Some will say the economy, what's happening with the economy, joblessness. What are these factors that bear on this situation, I wonder, Mr. Jao?
Of course, I agree with you. There are a lot of other factors involved, not only the term limit for President Macky Sall, but as you said, there is the economic factor as well. Many of the youths probably are not employed, and they are kind of eager to get either employed or get involved in the economic activities of the country, which somehow some of them have not had the opportunity to do so. All those are factors, and also there is the political factor as well. I mean, of course, Pastef and Ousmane Sonko, they are quite radical in the way they've been approaching things. I think that also is a factor that needs to be considered. I think both the Macky Sall government as well as the opposition Pastef, I mean, they have not helped the situation. We've seen what has happened from when Ousmane Sonko left Ziguinchor with a caravan going all the way on with the intention of going to Dakar, and that was very provocative. I mean, that's definitely, I thought probably the Pastef people should have thought about the implications of what they are doing, and that could raise the tension even much higher, and it did actually. I mean, raise the tension much higher. So I think both sides should have exercised a little bit of maturity in the way they have handled the situation. We would not have arrived at this point.
I mean, with the call by Sonko supporters to have him wronged in the next election, despite the court making this ruling, where will this leave Senegal as far as the separation of powers and rule of law is concerned, if they have to allow Sonko to run?
Well, if legally he's not qualified to run, then I cannot see how they can be able to force the government to allow him to run. I mean, that is, that's the law. If the law says that, Sonko has been convicted and legally he's not, he cannot run for an election, I can just foresee more trouble probably, but definitely legally he cannot be allowed to run for the presidency.
High Commissioner, so here I wonder, putting the external agents aside, the Sonko factor. How would you characterize what I will call the Ousmane Sonko factor in this issue? How would you characterize it? How do you see it as?
Sonko is proof of the march of our democracy. He started as a civil servant. They create the Pastef party, and the party grew. He was member of the parliament, and after he ran for presidential, he was served at the end 2019. So it is a proof that in Senegal you can create your party and express yourself and begin one day an important authority. It is only my lecture. It is has Mr. Idrissa Seck, has other president of parties. They are running gestions. Himself, he came with a new discourse with the youth. And his discourse, his verb, his allocation captures the youth, and it is important. No one can refuse that. He is a reality in Senegal now. But what we are saying now is, unfortunately, he has problem with Senegalese, not with the government. The first one was a matter of bad information against Mambay Nyang, and with Adji Sarr. It is not with the President Macky Sall. It is private matters. Now, it is our lecture. It is private matters. Yes. So, what we expect now is we are in a dialogue. On the 31st, the President opened a dialogue with all the stakeholders of our political parties. And in this process, we are expecting to have all the political candidates who were excluded maybe to be able to come back. Why not himself? If they join the dialogue, the dialogue may have big decision concerning all the candidates.
And why is the dialogue taking place now? I mean, one will have said this dialogue will have taken place earlier than now.
the president decided 28 May is the day of dialogue in Senegal. It is not because of it is decided long time before. He opened 28 and he decided 28 May is day of dialogue in Senegal. And it should be on 28, but it was reported because he went to Abuja for swearing on of the president, and it is why they do it on the 31st.
High Commissioner, I think I'll have to push you here a bit with your democratic record. Now it's sort of quite fashionable for a good number of analysts saying that what is happening here, this bastion of democracy and this beacon of stability and all of that appears to be rolling back all of these gains that you've had. Some people say that, so Sonko is the most formidable challenger, perhaps more formidable than Idris Seck ever was. So now apparently the president uses the justice system. There's a lack of trust with the justice system. So the president will use the justice system to eliminate potential rivals. Karim Wade, they will point out, Khalifa Sall. How would you respond to that?
No. You see, it is easy when you are journalists to go one side.
No, we just ask
no,
questions.
Remember, I want to recall you what happened when President was elected 2012. The most important demand at that time was social demand to pursue Karim Wade and so on. It was a demand. And at that time, Karim should be absolutely persecuted because what they said at that time. And he go and they pursue Karim and jail him, and after he had the grass. For Khalifa Sall also, they had convinced, and he recognized himself what he said was not that, and he was arrested. So now it is, I say, I don't want to come back on all these matters because, as I said, if you recall some crisis, it is like you open again the problem. It is not what I want. I'm not here for that. Now it is time for reconciliation. It is time for peace. And my president called for dialogue. And this dialogue should make all Senegalese to forget all these matters. Some were hurt in their hurt. Some were injured. But President Macky want to forget all this and to reopen another page going to February 2024.
Mr. Jao, do you think it will be easy to open a new page so soon?
Obviously, it's not going to be very easy because, well, as the High Commissioner has said, we may not be able to say for a fact that Karim Wade, Khalifa Sall, and Usman Sonko were just purely judicial matter, because these are three coincidences here. All three of them actually had ambitions to, challenge President Macky Sall as at the presidential level, and all three of them have actually had problem with the law, and they have, kind of convicted, so which disqualifies them from running for president. And well, it's a very strange coincidence anyway. But it would not be easy for anybody maybe to pinpoint the fact that President Sall interfered with the judiciary in this case to make sure that they are convicted. But honestly, it's kind of it kind of makes the people a bit more, not very convinced that something must have happened there, somewhere. There must be some kind of interference of something. But as he said, Senegal definitely has been a beacon of democracy and stability in this region. It is definitely unfortunate that Senegal at this time has gone, this way. And well, unlike many people, I am still convinced that President Macky Sall is not going to seek for a third term. Honestly, I think this is strategy. He feels that, if at this stage he announces that he's not going for a third term, because his grand coalition is going to collapse, because each of the different component parties probably will feel that it is their turn now to seek for a presidency, and that is going to affect the unity of the coalitions. Probably that is what he's waiting for. And let us hope that during this dialogue period, by the end of the dialogue, he will come out clean and say that he's not going for a third term. Let's hope and pray that happens.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Uncle D. Jao, former Gambia's information minister. Well, viewers, you're watching State of Affairs here on QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. My name is Aliou Cisse. I will go with a short break, and when we return, the discussion continues. Do stay tuned.
Espas Motors is the largest and most modern auto service in the Gambia. Espas Motors is the only authorized dealer in Chevy, Mercedes-Benz trucks, Mercedes-Benz buses, Kia, Ford, Futon Mini and Midi buses, Futon trucks. At Espas Motors, we have qualified professionals who use modern technology to diagnose and repair all brands of motor vehicles. Espas Motors services include auto sales, auto repairs, vehicle painting, availability of high-quality spare parts, towing services. We are reachable at any time. Call Espas Motors on 352222 353-4444 or locate us on the Bertil Harding Highway. Espas Motors.
Hello viewers, welcome back from the short break. You're watching State of Affairs here on QTV. I am Aliou Cisse, and our guest this week, Demba Ali Jao, former information minister here in the Gambia, and His Excellency Bassirou Sen, who is the High Commissioner of Senegal to the Gambia. We're discussing, the political tensions in Senegal as we speak. Where we've seen opposition supporters of Ousmane Sonko continue to clash with security forces in Senegal following his conviction and sentencing to 2 years by a court in Dakar. Your Excellency, before we went on the break, you wanted to say something after Uncle D.
Yes, I was saying that in this dialogue yesterday, you hear Mr. President Macky Sall say, if you ask me, I will accept, we discuss the matter. The dialogue is open for all matters, all matters. No matter is a secret and evacuated. No. Since he is ready to discuss this matter. So I think, and we must recall also, never Mr. Macky Sall has said, I will do a certain mandate. Never. No one can show a paper, a text where he will say, I want to do a certain. So we can be optimistic and wait this dialogue to give its fruits, its result, before we go to some development.
Do you think the demands by Sonko supporters will be granted to have him run? Do you think the demands by the supporters of Sonko who are out in the streets will be granted? They don't want to see him go to prison. The demand of Sonko supporters, yeah,
for
him not to be imprisoned, and also to allow him contest in the next election. Now we have seen the court.
It is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everything can be discussed within the dialogue. The dialogue is open for no taboo. The President Macky Sall says there is no taboo. All matters can be discussed within this dialogue. We are together. We are Senegalese. We are responsible. So, can we give him chance of saying what is really truthful?
And Uncle D, earlier on, we talk about the statement issued by the Gambia. You talk about the role that the Gambia can play as far as resolving this issue is concerned. ECOWAS, the UN, the warnings are very clear. What role could ECOWAS also play in this whole thing? They have also issued a statement which they are very good at condemning and calling for calm.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the situation with our regional bodies. They can always condemn, and but they are hardly effective in the way they handle matters, these regional matters. But anyway, we can recall not quite long ago, ECOWAS came out clean and said that, I mean, they don't want sub-regional leaders to change the constitution and go for a third term. They always insisted on a second term. So, and that's why I am honestly convinced that President Macky Sall is not going for a third term. Because, thinking at his credentials, democratic credentials and other things, and the leadership, that the role that he has played in Africa, being chairman of the AU and, all those places. So I honestly, I'll be very much disappointed and surprised to see him seek for a third term. I don't think he's going for it anyway. But as you said, but ECOWAS and AU, the UN, the Gambia in particular, they all have roles to play in there. And, and I cannot see Macky Sall, keeping a deaf ear to all these appeals from all these people. No, I think he's definitely going to succumb to, if he had the intentions, which I don't think he has. Yeah.
We've seen protesters also, High Commissioner, going looting people's shops and all those steps. Do you think all these people are actually supporting Sonko? Or some of them just have their own motive for going on the streets?
I think there is some are not in this because they are politicians. I already said that. If you see a young boy of 10 years going Auchan, taking rice or butter or powder or meat, he is not going for political matter. And so many people in this case, they go because they are taking things in the shops, they are taking money in the banks and so on. They are in the move. Someone. The other one, as I say, they have another idea for the Republic. They come outside with guns and so on, and they want another thing. Some now youth, student and so on, those they are here for political matter. They are fighting for political matter, and it is known. It is reality, and it is reality. Sonko is a reality in Senegal now.
Yes, High Commissioner. Yes, of course, there is the dialogue, but others have pointed out that Sonko has been urging his people to come out and protest some more. So one wonders some of the risks for more stability. This is sort of like a standoff, even though we've heard leaders of the brotherhoods, they've all been trying to get in, but yet Sonko is coming up with its radical stance that the risks for further instability are quite great right now, aren't they?
Yes, it is a risk, and we know that. But I have big confidence. My security forces, police and gendarmerie, and army, all the important institutions will be secure. Anyway, no problem. There is no matter for that. The security will be assured, and the political dialogue will continue, and we will find a solution. Senegal has his specificity to every time find a solution for its problem. In 2020, when President Abdoulaye Wade wanted the third mandate, it was the same case. There was 10 or 14 deaths. But we find a solution. The court decided, and all went to the election, and President Macky Sall won.
Yes, you're talking about.
So we have our own atu, our own pillar to elevate, to handle, to face every problem and to solve it.
Yes, so
we don't have any doubt for that.
People have been talking
the security will be assured by our forces, but the political dialogue will continue, and we will find a solution.
That's it. People have been talking about police brutality and then the mass arrest of civil society. So there's a price to pay.
There is some civil society which are not civil society. Some I'm hearing. I wonder myself what kind of civil society.
Well, that was said by Yassin
when you
Fall, for
are
instance,
taking position.
The
in one case, you don't never say what is doing the other side. You only handle one. I have doubt.
Mr. Yao, the issue of the third term has been a flashpoint in Africa, so many, especially in West Africa. What do you make of this issue of the third term? Because they are pushing back. People want the third term, but you see the leaders are also pushing back, trying to maneuver in all sorts of ways.
I think this third term issue definitely needs to be taken very, very seriously with the regional organizations like ECOWAS, for instance, and even the AU itself. Let them talk to the leadership of Africa. Let them respect the constitutions, that is in existence, rather than always pushing for a third term. We've seen, what has happened in our countries where they have pushed for third term. It has led to chaos and all those things. Definitely, the leaders should be very, very, forthright on that issue. The regional organizations should be forthright on that issue and insist on it. And another issue is, I think President Macky Sall has a big role to play in simmering down the tensions. We have this opportunity of the dialogue. They are doing this dialogue. If I were him, just apart from even declaring that he's not going for a third term, he should take the opportunity, maybe pardon Karim Wade, Halifa Sallah, and even Sonko himself, so that they can, all be free to go for the elections. And that is definitely going to help a lot in simmering down the tensions. I have no doubt about that.
High Commissioner, do you think that if Macky were to declare that he wouldn't stand, then that would take the temperature out of the situation right now?
As Macky said, he will never be forced to do that.
No, but we know that. But I'm just asking you, if he were, this is really a political judgment, not what Macky said.
If I will not take it into account. He said himself, he will not be obliged to do anything. He is Senegalese citizen. He has the right to declare at the time he wants.
What about the responsibility to stop what is happening? The right is one thing, but
it is their analysis. They say it is because he don't declare. It is why. So those the other ones say it is a decision of the justice. The situation is here. The judicial justice decision. What connection with the third term? There is no connection. But some want to do a connection where there is no connection. Yes, it is not. And me, I trust the capacity and the wiseness of those who are in this dialogue to they know the situation of the country now. Senegal was peaceful and democratic country with a GDP around 8% per year. So even with the COVID, our economy was very strong. And you see President Macky Sall has changed completely the country. So we know where we are now and what this crisis is doing against the development of the country. So those who are handling this dialogue, they know everything. What are the enjeux? What are the problem? What they want to reach?
That's it. And some would say
it is very important.
Absolutely.
So this guy will do everything to reach a consensus. Someone say inside, all those who are here, they are here for a result. No one come here to go without any result. So please, at the end of the dialogue, everyone must see something coming from the dialogue interesting him, and it is very important.
So some people have been saying that, yes, recently Senegal has been doing 8% GDP, it's been growing, yet when you go to the common ordinary Senegalese, it's not percolating through, it's not coming through. They think that Macky Sall really represents foreign power. That's why this anti-French sentiment is gaining traction. So some people say that there are many sociological conditions that is making it fertile for this kind of protest.
There is a big change in this case, my brother. If you say GDP is not eaten by the poor, it is false.
Well, that's what they've been saying. They've been interviewing people in Senegal.
If you have road, this is GDP, we have new roads. Before, if you your production may push Now you produce and use the same day you can sell it in the market because you have good road. You have now solar, you have energy, you have electricity. You can have your fridge. You can save you have your people can now have their connection and take the lesson under the electricity lamp. The GDP is for the people. It is not for rich people.
But you would say that the inequality,
yes,
the inequality gap is huge.
It is the understanding, and also what the other one is the bourse of family, bourse familial. Bourse familial. It is amount paid to the poor people. Before it was around 100,000 francs, 100,000 CFA. And now it is around 300,000 CFA. And the asset was opened. If they were 100, now they are around 1,000. And it is all the region, 14 regions. All these people, now these ladies, these women, they can now have their cattle, they can have their children going to school. Instead of taking them to the field, they now go to school because their mom, they have now something to entertain them.
So Senegalese have no reason to protest?
No, I'm not. Even in France, they are protesting. Even in America, they are protesting. Even if you gain 1 million, you need 1 million too.
Because they've
Everyone,
got reasons to protest. High Commissioner.
Yes,
I want to say,
I
want to say, if even there is some reason to protest, there is also reason to say the country is going, the economy is solid, and everyone is benefiting from this economy.
Uncle Dia, I want to bring you in here. I mean, the protest is still going on. I mean, do you think this can cause possible division or chaos within the security if the protest continues?
Well, of course, there is a potential because the security forces are many, I mean, and varied as well. So some of them may also have their own different political ideologies and political, beliefs, and that could end up bringing some rift within the security. It's all possible, and we are not praying for that situation to arise because, as I said, we cannot afford to have problem in Senegal. It's definitely not good for the Gambia. It's not good for the sub-region. Absolutely.
And I mean, is there any lesson that the Gambia can learn from what is happening in Senegal right now? It's about third term, constitution.
Well, of course, I mean, that is a lesson to the whole sub-region and the whole of Africa. I mean, this third term issue, and of course, we are in a similar situation in this country. President Barrow is already on his second term, and people have started telling him not to seek for a third term. If that happens, anything can happen in this country as well. So,
even though right now there is no term limit in our constitution.
Absolutely, there is no term limit in our constitution. But I mean, it's a trend in the world that third term is expected now. Every leader is expected not to go for a third term. To stop at two consecutive terms. That is the trend now, and that's what people expect. Even the constitution is silent over it, but people would still not expect him to go for a third term, to seek for a third term. Yeah.
And that's the hub. The third force, you're talking about the third term. Some people call it the third force, the army. I've even heard few analysts. At one point, when things get really worse, what are the risks of this so-called third force coming in? You've got Macky Sall, you've got Sonko, you've got the third force. What are the risks in Senegal? One imagines that you've got deep roots in democracy. I can't imagine Senegal being ruled by military men. But how do you look at it now?
My brother, for time now, risk zero doesn't exist anywhere in the world. Risk zero.
Of course.
Exists no way.
Of course.
Yes. Even the biggest democracies, they have their own risks.
Of course.
They have their problem.
Yeah, but the degrees vary.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
That's really what I mean.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you see the situation?
It is right. The risk zero does not exist. And we don't expect in Senegal to be in risk zero. We are facing every day challenges and threat and difficulties, and every day we are trying to face these difficulties. It is why we have an army very professional, which are in all this field, peacekeeping in the world. You will see Senegalese army because they are professional. we have our gendarmerie, we have our police to face this kind of threat. If it was not this capacity we have, they will attack Senegal since long time. But they are waiting until only this kind of movement of crisis to show themselves. Because by themselves, they can't do anything. It is all right.
And now we've seen some of them, Uncle Dieda, asking for Macky to resign. Aren't they asking for too much?
Well, yes, I think they're asking for, well, it's, his time is almost at the end, and I think people should not go that far to ask him to resign, for this stage. That is going to lead to even more chaos. I think they can be able to manage this situation until the end of his term. All they should ask, in fact, it's already a consensus within the dialogue, that he shouldn't seek for a third term. I think it's a consensus there among all those who have spoken so far. I mean, except members of his coalition, everybody is asking him to, not to seek for a third term. I think that is enough, definitely warning to President Macky Sall that seeking a third term is not going to augur well for Senegal and the sub-region.
That's it, but somebody called it the arm wrestling between Macky and Sonko. So where do you see this sort of going then? Because it seems everybody is entrenched in your position, then where can it possibly go?
I think the onus lies more on Macky, definitely, as far as I'm concerned, for him to declare, instantly that he's not going seek for a third term. That is going to simmer down the tension. And if that happens, then and the next thing he should do is that grant pardon to all three of them, Karim, Khalifa and Sonko himself, so that they are free to get into the field as well. I think that would be enough reason. For anybody, even Sonko himself is going to, he will see no other reason why he should continue the struggle then. Yeah.
High Commissioner,
do you agree?
How do you see to diffuse the situation?
The pardon, Sonko, Karim, Sall.
No, as I told you, we are in the dialogue.
Okay.
Within this dialogue, we must have the patience to have the result. Please. We are in a hurry now, but you will see the result. And because since long time, he said this constitution, the decision may be taken to alleviate some article of the electoral code or to have amnesty. He said it 2 or 3 times before. And the dialogue is now meeting. Let the dialogue take a decision.
So all options are on the table.
Nothing is off. There is no taboo. He said
nothing is off.
There is no taboo. There is no taboo. Third mandate or second mandate for someone, Karim Wade, and so on. There is no taboo. Matter of parrainage, this parrainage to take to have a number of signatures before you are candidate. This one also is among the matters to be discussed. No taboo, he said. So let us give chance to those guys to discuss with there are wise people, they are experienced people, they know the country, they know where we come from, and now we are today, what we have to preserve, and they will have a good decision for us, please. And it is only for 2 weeks. The dialogue is for 15 days. Let 15 days go.
And Your Excellency, it seems we're running out of time. Uncle Dié, under 20 seconds, your final message, and then I'll bring in the High Commissioner, just a message to Senegalese, both in Senegal and in the Gambia as well.
Just as I said, I think the onus here lies with President Macky Sall. He can definitely simmer down the tension in Senegal by just declaring that he's not going to run for a third term. And if that happens, I see no reason why everybody then should continue with their protests and other things, because that's the main demand of the Senegalese.
Your Excellency, your message to Senegalese, both in the Gambia and Senegal.
I asked you one song you didn't give me. I must address to my people in Wolof.
Yes, you can do it briefly.
Okay. Auzu billahi mina shaitan rajim, bismillahi rahman rahim. Mbokk yi maa ngi leen di nuyu, maa ngi leen di ziar, maa ngi leen di béggee. Man Bassirou Sène, commissioner, maa leen di yónni message bi pour won leen ne Sénégal toll na ci jamono boo xam ne ñun ñëpp dañu war a taxawaat gembuwaat jàppante ñu ngi jàmmaarloog loo xam ne amoon na fi ci mars 2021 waaye yaakaaroon nañ ne loolu dootu fi amati tey nag ni mu amee metti lool ndax dafa am ay ñu ci rax ñoo xam ne bokkuñ ci woon moo tax ñun ñëpp ñu war a góorgóorlu takkuwaat ndax sunu réew bi nga xam ne ñëpp a ko doon tudd ci démocratie ak dem ci kanam ak jàmmoo ak teranga ba ñëpp ñu di ñu tuddee lion de la teranga lu nekk ñu ne teranga Sénégal loolu dafa war a sax dafa war a dakk te ñun ñëpp ku ci nekk da nga ko war a dëgëral maa ngi sant bu baax na gouvernement ak monsieur le président Barrow ci kayit yi nga xam ne yónnee nañ ko Dakar di wone njàppale gi ñuy jàppale président Macky Sall ak gouvernement Sénégal pour ñu am jàmm di santaat encore gouvernement ak président Gambie pour ni ñu leen yaatale yéen sénégalais yi ba ngeen nekk fi ci jàmm ak salaam ci réewu jàmbur nag lañ nekk réewu jàmbur nag boo fa nekkee da ngay respecter loi ak règlement yi nga xam ne moo nekk ci réew mi alhamdulilah maa ngi leen di sant leen gërëm gis naa seen taxawaay kenn ci deful loo warul a def kenn ci waxul loo warul a wax kenn ci génnul ne dafay protester wala day toj butigu jàmbur wala day yàq yëfu jàmbur loolu da ngeen a jox cër gouvernement ak loi ak règlement Gambie respecté leen moo tax ngeen taxawee noonu kooku kontaan naa ci maa ngi leen ciy sant di leen gërëm di ñaan ñu continuer noonu xam ne réew Sénégal jàmm ak salaam lañ xam ñun nasiril aq bi aq lañ xam ay xadara ak jàng xasaayit dañu continuer ci loolu am na waxtaan woo xam ne président woote na ko te bam ko wootee dafa ne amul tabu lépp loo xam ne nit ki am na ko ci xolam la mu yaakaar ne war nañ koo wax ci biir dëkk bi ci wàllu économie ci wàllu politique ndax du politique rek la ñuy waxtaane ci dialogue bi lépp lañ ciy waxtaane donc nañu bàyyi dialogue boobu bu demee bu génnee ndax fukki fan ak juróom dong la ci biir fukki fan ak juróom yooyu danañ ci wax li nga xam ne moom lañ yaakaar ne moom mooy jëmale Sénégal ci kanam maa ngi leen di sant di leen gërëm di gërëm waa QTV di gërëm Mohamed Dia di rafetlu liggéey bi muy liggéey diggante Sénégal ak Gambie.
jërëjëf Your Excellency wax bi rafet na trop te xam naa ne képp koo xam ne yaa ngi seetaan programme bi nii xam naa ne li nga leen wax nañ ko jàll amin ñu gis parce que loo xam ne jàmm mooy lépp amin jàmm fu mu amul rek dara du mun a sotti te am nañ yaakaar ne jàmm dina dellu parce que Gambie ak Sénégal mu ne benn bopp la kenn mënu ko xar ñaar am na so lu am solo la. Well viewers, with that we bring an end to this week's State of Affairs program. Our guest this week were Demba Ali Jawo, former Minister of Information here in the Gambia, and of course His Excellency High Commissioner Basir Hussein, who is the High Commissioner of Senegal to the Gambia. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We quite appreciate your time. And Mr. Mbodj, it was good to have you as well. So viewers, do join us next week. Until then, bye-bye.